Amidst the sounds of bombs falling on the Gaza Strip, cities and towns across Israel, and news that rockets are flying from Lebanon, Israel has restricted media coverage in some places, seeking to tamp down the coverage of a conflict that is growing faster than anyone might have expected. What is coming out of the Middle East is alarming, frightening, and shows what life is like in an escalating war zone. The subject of this edition of Newscall.
In Gaza, the ground-shaking Israeli airstrikes rain down, with drones and jets targeting militants and rockets, but often destroying much more. So far, around 80 Palestinians killed, the vast majority civilians. This morning, 8 members of a single family mistakenly killed. We've seen the destructive power of the strikes up close. Here, the 3-story family home of Sami, now a pile of rubble.
In the Khan Yunis refugee camp, the bodies kept coming today. This was the funeral of the Hajj family. A mother and a father killed, we are told, alongside their 6 children. They were asleep in their beds when the Israeli airstrike hit, flattening their home. There was little left to salvage here. Young and old, the neighbourhood was left in shock.
In broad daylight on a busy street in Gaza today, this car was incinerated by an airstrike. Islamic Jihad, a Palestinian militant group, told us 2 of the 3 men who were killed were its members. Israel also targets what it calls command centres, though in reality they're often the homes of militants. To give their families a chance to evacuate, the Israeli army sometimes telephones in advance or fires a small missile without an explosive as a warning.
The explosions are incredibly close and extremely loud, and they're in the middle of Gaza neighborhoods. Israel accuses Hamas of hiding fighters inside these communities. Israel says it's trying to avoid killing civilians, but whether by day or by night, the toll is increasing. In the middle of last night, Israel dropped a bomb that killed an entire family. 7 civilians dead, according to Palestinian medical officials, 5 of them children.
Palestinians picked through the rubble of still smoldering homes in Gaza, even as other buildings burned from fresh Israeli airstrikes. In Israel, streets were filled with more people running for cover, from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, as Hamas militants shot off more rockets. Most have been intercepted by Israeli air defense.
This is daily life here in Israel right now. The sirens and the fear. Civilians running for cover from incoming rocket fire. Several rockets getting through Israel's Iron Dome defense system, landing and exploding near Beersheba, one of the larger Israeli cities not that far from Gaza.
The Palestinian death toll in Gaza stands at 90, mostly civilians. Right now, tonight, the question is when or if this becomes a ground war. That may be why tonight President Obama called Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, offering to broker a ceasefire. It is where we begin our coverage tonight with NBC's Ayman Mohyeldin in Gaza.
Another night, more strikes, and a rising death toll. Before dawn, one of those strikes hit this home. The target, destroyed, was the home of a suspected Hamas militant. He wasn't there. His neighbors next door were, and they paid the price.
It is worthwhile bringing up that as a follow to a lot of this, there is now some concern about a rocket being fired from Lebanon. At least 100 dead in Gaza. The Israeli government says they will hold the Lebanese government responsible for the attack. Hezbollah, by the way, it should be pointed out, operates in Lebanon. They have other conflicts in the region right now. They probably do not have the appetite to start another war or another faction of a war, yet there is still some concern that Lebanon, or at least on the ground in Lebanon, may be involved. And we will continue to follow this story and a whole lot more here on the Newsmax TV network and here on MidPoint, where every single day, Monday through Friday, we question everything.